Hey guys, so it's only been a day, but I've already had quite a few questions, so I'm just going to get this started. The first question, what do you think is the best way to make OCX canon realistic? I think the best way to keep OCX canon realistic is to follow a few rules. First off, keep the canon character in character. If you don't do that, then it's not going to be realistic. No one wants to see Sasuke, who's pretty much a douchey jerk. Well, not pretty much, he is a douchey jerk. No one wants to see him suddenly acting like to Yorosi, oh my gosh, Mary Sue, the love of my life. I'd give up everything for you. I would give up my revenge on my brother, or depending on when we are in the manga, the revenge of Konoha just for you, because my undying love for you is that deep. It burns like 1,000 suns. Come, let us make a love! No one wants to see that. Please. No one wants to see that. If you're going to have your character paired with the canon character, just make sure the canon character's acting like the canon character. Another thing, don't have things that happen to the canon character change because your OC is there. Like the Uchiha Massacre. Don't have your OC suddenly be there with Sasuke because Sasuke was alone that night other than Itachi because stuff. Plus, if your OC was there, she would have died, and then your OC would be dead, and then blah, 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 blah. Also, when Sasuke left Konoha for Orochimaru, Sakura was the only one that he saw. So, don't change that because, Sakura was the last person that he saw before leaving Konoha. Also, don't have your OC go with him to Orochimaru. He wouldn't even let Sakura go with him, and I'm pretty sure since Sakura's on Sasuke's team, he'd be closer to Sakura than your OC. Just think about what the character would do. If he wouldn't have let his teammate go with him, why would he have let an OC? Because they love each other so much! No. Sasuke's revenge is the most important thing, not your OC. I think last but not least is go after a character that's not taken. Seriously, I've seen OCs go after Minato. Yeah. So yeah, just keep the canon character in character. Don't change things that happen to the canon storyline. And go after someone who's not married or dead. Well, I guess you could go after someone who's dead if you actually let them die. Yeah, if you let them die. Anyway, the next question. Why do you think so many people pair their OCs with Sasuke? I'm honestly not sure on that. I mean, I would assume it's because they like his character or they find him attractive. But since, I don't hate Sasuke, but I'm not a huge fan of him. I kind of think he's a douchebag. I wouldn't really pair my OC up with him. I can kind of use back when I still did OCX canon stuff. I would pair some characters with canon characters. I had really liked Deidara, so I had paired an OC with Deidara. And it was because I just really liked him. I guess that's why people pair their OCs with canon characters in the first place. They really like the canon character. I don't know, though. I don't have any OCX canon couples anymore, so I don't know for sure. So, anyway, next question. What's the difference between an RPC and an OC? The difference between an RPC and an OC comes from their names, I think. I think once you know the meanings of their names, you can tell what the difference is. An RPC stands for roleplay character. It's just what you think. It's a character you use in roleplays. You can have them have an official story, but if the story is made through a roleplay, then it's a roleplay character. OC stands for original character. Those characters are still really similar to RPCs, but I think their stories are more just written out on the creator's own, not through a roleplay. That's how I see it anyway. The difference between the two is not whether or not you draw or edit, and I really wish people would stop thinking that's it, because it's not. Really, it's not. Anyway, what to you makes a good RPC? That's the next question. To me, I think an RPC needs to have flaws, faults, character development. They have to go through hardships, and they can't be Mary Sue. You can't have them be overpowered. They need to have weaknesses. They need to have something happen to them. They can't have a perfect life. If they do, then the character's kind of considered boring. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a character in Naruto who's had a perfect life. I mean, a lot of the great characters in that story had tragic backstories. Like, if you think about it, like, I know a lot of people like Gaara, me included, his backstory was depressing. If he would have been just a douchebag for the sake of being a douchebag, I don't think as many people would like him. Seeing his backstory kind of changes it. And like with Kabuto, if you're up to date with the manga, once you learned his backstory was depressing. I thought that shit was depressing. I was just like, oh my god, you poor Babu. I remember why I love you now. But before you became a douchebag and stuff. I don't know, I just think, don't keep the character perfect. Have them have things about them that maybe people wouldn't like. I mean, not everyone has to like everything about your character, so don't make them perfect. Give them flaws. I think that's what makes a great RPC, when they have issues. Okay, so then the next question. What are some well-made popular OC/RPCs that you know? I actually don't know any, because all the RPCs that are considered popular, I've never even seen any info on them. I don't know anything about their stories. I don't, so I can't decide if they're well-made or not. Maybe if they'd actually post their stories, I could decide if I think their OC is a good story or not. That's another, and like, it makes me question why they are popular sometimes. It's like, okay, what's so great about this OC? Yeah, the OC's pretty, yeah, they have good editing skills, but what's the story? I wish people would just stop that, look at the OC, look at their story instead of their looks. An OC is 20% looks, 80% story. That's what I think anyway. So no, I don't know any good popular OCs. I know a popular OC that I did like though she's not around anymore, and from what I remember, I really liked her story, was Suzuki Shinzui? I think that was her name. I'll post a picture of her on here anyway, so yeah. From what I remember, I really enjoyed her story, but that was also years ago, so I don't remember the details. But she was actually an RPC that I had really looked up to, and it kind of bums me out that she's gone because she had just left so suddenly. I don't know, though. She was someone that I really looked up to, and she kind of inspired me to do better. So, yeah, I guess if you just want to go off of liking a character, I liked her. Next question. What are some bad things to do with outfits to OC/RPCs? And some good things. Well, I think bad things to do is making the outfit look slutty. No one really wants to see an RPC that looks like a slut. No one does. I'm pretty sure if they were walking down the middle of the street, people would have to hide their kids because, there's a slut walking around. No one wants to have their kids see a slut. Also, another bad thing to do is not keeping the outfit in the style of the universe that they're in. Like, you'll notice with animes, they tend to have a certain style about them. Like, well, I don't think I even have to go into an explanation about that. There's different styles for different animes. With Naruto, you tend to see, like, the pouches, the ninja shoes, the shirts, the fishnet, the bandages, etc., etc. That's kind of the style. That being said, depending on what village your character is from, the style is still different. Like, you'll see that the ninja from the mist have a different style than the ninja from the sand or the ninja from the leaf. Each village has their own unique style of clothing, and I think that people need to look at those styles of clothing when they're basing their character from a certain village, Like, the Kiri ninja, they tend to be more covered up. They tend to wear just what's needed, not adding in anything extra. Because their style tends to be, as most people say, unfashionable. They say unfashionable, I say plain. And then you see with Konoha, they wear the dark blue and the green. They wear the vests. They wear the pouches. They wear the stuff with the stuff and the stuff. That being said, you also notice Konoha has other ninjas wearing stuff different from that. Still, like the teenagers and stuff. Still, I think that those are more like the Chunin and Genin. Then again, Neji's a Jonin. I don't know, like, with Konoha, still look at the styles. Their styles are still decently similar when you're talking about, like, the people that aren't the adults, like Kakashi and Haruka. I think just follow the style and you'll be fine. Don't make the outfit slutty, because you really don't see many slutty you don't see any slutty outfits in Naruto unless you count Tsunade showing off her cleavage. Okay, anyway, next question. Do you have any tips for creating pasts for your OC/RPCs? I have to say, what I work on first is who they are as a person. Then I go back and look at them and decide, okay, what made them act like this? What makes them think this way? What made them the person they are right now? And then I work off of ideas. I get, help from friends, ask for other people's opinions, what they think could have happened. Because, just because it's your character and you can do whatever you want, as a lot of people say, it doesn't mean your character can't get other people's opinions. I think that if you get opinions from other people, you can help improve your OC greatly. So yeah, just think, okay, why is my OC like this? What made them like this? And see if your friends have any ideas, because, I get a lot of help from my friends. They've helped made my characters great, in my opinion. And I couldn't have my characters the way they are without them, So, anyway, next question. Are there any hairstyles or clothes that you think are overused and should be avoided or adapted slightly to make them more original? I think hairstyles... I see a lot of OCs doing the spikes, like Naruto's, only they stick out like 3 meters long. I say avoid that. I mean, like, I'm not... Oh my gosh. Ugh. I'm not saying you can't do spiky hair, but make it a bit more... less, like, 3 meters long. I also see a lot of people doing... long hair and spikes. If you're going to do that, like with females, I see long hair and spikes. If you want to be different, try short hair and spikes if you're going to do spiky hair, I don't know, I think with Naruto, you can do whatever you want hairstyle-wise, whether that be multiple color hair, strange color hair, black hair, brown hair. I do see a lot of OCs doing black hair, though. I would try to avoid that, honestly. If you want to be different, then don't make an OC with black hair, because, a lot of people do that. Do something fun. I mean, it's Naruto. Do some crazy color. That's what I would say. And then clothing styles. A lot of people make their outfits slutty, so it just avoid the sluttiness, Actually try to make the outfit match what village they're from, Cover them up. Something different. But yeah, I mean, just look at a majority of OCs, decide what's something they all have in common, and don't do it. That's one way you can be original. I don't know, though. I don't design RPCs as much as I used to, because I've decided I have enough characters, I need to develop them. So, yeah, I haven't actually had to design an RPC in a long time. So next question. What are some amazing OCs you have run into that aren't popular? Not the art, but the character stories themselves. I have to say, well, actually, the person who asked me this is Asanyez, or however you pronounce your name. You know how much I like your character. I mean, people probably wouldn't look at your character or just decide it's a Sue because your editing skills aren't the best. But oh my god, when they just take a second to look at your story's great. I think you're one of the good unpopular OCs that I've seen. I also think a couple of the OCs that we've reviewed on here are really good. Like, I really liked Take. I thought that you guys saw the Take review. I love that shit. I don't know. I haven't seen many great OC stories, because, like, a lot of them, people don't tell us their stories, you know? So, I really can't say anything on that either. I mean, I love a lot of my friends' stories because, not just because they're friends, but because, you know, I tend to think of the people who actually have a decent brain. I'll take Alina Uchiha as an example. She's an Uchiha. You automatically think, oh my god, Sue! Uchihas can't survive the massacre! She actually did it in a way where I feel like it really worked. And though I haven't read any updates on her story, I still think she did a great job of it from the last time she had told me it. She is a great friend, she's a sweetheart, and people should actually give her a chance, not just shove her away because her OC's an Uchiha. You know? What is your opinion on self-inserts? The kind that actually are self-inserts, not some wistful version of the author. Are you talking like characters like Bella Swan? Because that's a self-insert. I don't know. I tend to avoid the self-inserts, so I don't really have a high opinion on them. I know in my case, a lot of my OCs a couple of my OCs, I had self-inserts. I changed them, though, because now a lot of them are nothing like me. I don't see a problem with basing a character off yourself, as long as they aren't exactly like you. They aren't living the life you want. Like, my FMA self-insert. If she had the life I want, she'd be fucking Envy. What? No, I actually don't want to fuck a fictional character. That's kind of disturbing and gross. I don't know. Like, I don't have an issue with self-inserts when they aren't Mary Sue and they aren't doing what you wish you could do if you were in that anime. I have no issue with basing a character off yourself. Because, I don't know, in my case, a lot of my characters that aren't even considered self-inserts are based on myself. They have things about me that are in them as a character. Like, one of my OCs who has trouble communicating with people, he kind of got that from me because sometimes I have issues communicating with people. And then, I don't know. If you can make it work, go ahead. I don't hate them and I don't like them, I guess. Any tips on character design? Look at other characters, other comics, other series, other designs. Look at things for inspiration. That's what I say. Just find inspiration anywhere. And finally, what's your opinion on taking an unnamed character who we know nothing about, like they were only mentioned, and expanding on their story, basically making them ROC, like Itachi's lover, for example? Again, if you can make it work, go ahead. But I've never seen anyone actually do that and make it work. If you can make an OC that was Itachi's lover, and it was totally a guy. What? No, it wasn't a guy. It was totally a girl. Oh, nah, it was totally a guy. I don't know. If you can make it work, go ahead. But that goes back to OCX canon. Make it realistic. Okay, so I think that's it for that question. What do you think of RPC/OCs that have big boobs and unnatural and would get in the way of everything? I hate those big boobed OCs. I really do. That being said, I'm not saying your OC can't have big boobs, but for the love of God, don't make them like F cups. Make them, if you're going to have a big boobed OC, try keeping them a C or a D, and also give them a body to support them. I have big boobs, so I know that I need a body. I have a body that supports them, and even now, I still have really bad back problems because of them. And I'm sick of seeing OCs with the huge badunkadunks and the skinny waist, and then they're a ninja! What the fuck? What the actual fuck? You know? So yeah, I don't like them, but if they have a body that can support the big boobs, then yeah, give them huge badunkadunks. Okay. I know someone who has their anime self-insert paired with a Naruto RPC. What's your opinion on this? What the fuck? I don't know. Like, is the anime self-insert, like, legit like them, or is it just another OC that's based off? What the fuck? I don't even know how to answer that. I really don't. What the fuck? Just what the... Okay, that's it for questions. This is fail. This was part 1 of the Q&A. If you guys have any more questions, I'll be answering them. But make sure you comment on the original video. It's titled, Have a Question for Me, Guys, parentheses, read description, parentheses. So, yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this half an hour Q&A. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.